Ready to dive deep with me today?
Always. Where are we headed?
Today, we're heading to Spain, more specifically, Valladolid.
Okay, Valladolid. I know it's known for its history and culture, but what about it today?
Well, we're going beyond the typical tourist attractions to explore the city's electronic music scene.
Now that sounds interesting. Tell me more.
I recently came across this article from DJ MAG ESPAña.
DJ MAG ESPAña.
Yes, exactly. And it talks about this group called Techno Room, who are making waves in Valladolid's underground scene.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Valladolid and electronic music, that's not a connection you hear every day.
Right. It definitely piqued my interest.
So what's the story? What makes Techno Room so special?
Well, first, you have to understand a bit about Valladolid itself. It's known for its wine, its history, its food. Have you ever had la cazo?
The Cazo. That doesn't ring a bell.
It's roasted suckling lamb, a local delicacy.
Ah, okay. I had to look it up. Sounds delicious, though. But I'm guessing our deep dive isn't about culinary tourism. What's the electronic music scene like in Valladolid?
That's the thing. It's got this interesting dynamic. The article paints this picture of Valladolid as a bit of a hidden gem for electronic music back in the day, but then it mentions these clubs, Complot and Camarote, and it's like they vanish.
Vanish, like they just disappeared.
Well, not exactly, but you get this sense that the scene has faced some tough times.
Ah, I see. So where does Techno Room fit into all of this?
That's where it gets really interesting.
Tell me more.
They were founded in 2016 by two DJs, Carlos Escalante and Pedro Duran.
Okay, I'm starting to get a sense of who we are dealing with.
Yeah, and they were later joined by Jonch and Omar Kant. So together, it's like they formed this sort of collective. And they started out as this humble radio show.
A radio show. So how did they go from a local radio show to being featured in DJ MAG ESPAña?
That's the really cool part. Their passion project, this small radio show, it blossomed. It actually evolved into their very own online station, technoroomfm.com.
Wow, so they went global. That's impressive.
Right. And what's even more impressive is that they've done it all independently. Techno Room is completely nonprofit and self-funded.
That's pretty rare these days, especially in the music world. There's always pressure to sign with a label or get sponsorships.
Exactly. And that's what makes their story so unique. They have complete creative control. They answer to no one but themselves and their love for electronic music.
Now that's commitment, but it's not just the online station, is it? The article mentioned something about them organizing events, too.
You're right. They don't just play music, they create experiences. Techno Room organizes events, showcasing local DJs, and, get this, using the profits to support the station.
So they've created this incredible self-sustaining ecosystem, passion project turned online, empire turned community support system. It's really remarkable.
It is, and I think it speaks to a real need for spaces like this, especially in a city like Valladolid, which the article suggests has faced its share of challenges when it comes to keeping the electronic music scene alive.
Challenges? Like what?
Well, one of the big ones the article mentions is sound limitations.
Sound limitations? What do you mean?
Apparently, Valladolid has really strict ordinances about noise levels.
Ah, I see. So imagine trying to host a vibrant electronic music event when you're constantly worried about exceeding decibel limits. That must be incredibly difficult.
Right, it's like trying to dance in a library. It's just not conducive to the kind of atmosphere you want to create.
That makes a lot of sense. And I'm guessing those sound limitations probably make it even harder for smaller venues to survive, right?
Exactly. And then there's the issue of artist fees.
Right, of course.
Smaller venues already operate on tight budgets, and with the rising costs of booking even moderately well-known artists.
It becomes this catch-22, right? You need to attract crowds to stay afloat, but you can't afford the acts that will guarantee a full house.
It's a tough spot to be in for sure. And as if that wasn't enough, the article points to another major challenge. Okay, what's the third strike against them?
Competition.
Competition from other clubs. Well, yes, but mostly from large-scale festivals. They've become a dominant force in the music industry.
Ah, I see what you mean. Those massive festivals that can book the biggest names, offer sprawling venues, and pull out all the stops with stage production, it's hard for smaller, local venues to compete with that.
It's like trying to stage a local play when Broadway's in town.
Exactly. So you've got these small venues already grappling with sound restrictions and artist fees, and then they've got to contend with these festival giants.
That's the reality. unfortunately. But that's also why groups like Techno Room are so vital to the survival and evolution of electronic music, especially in cities like Valladolid.
It's like they're holding a torch for a different kind of music scene, one that's rooted in community, passion, and a love for the craft.
Exactly. And they're doing it on their own terms. They've found a way to thrive despite the challenges. They're like musical rebels with a cause.
I love that, musical rebels. So how do they do it? How does a small, independent group like Techno Room not just survive, but thrive in an environment like that? What's their secret?
Well, for starters, they're incredibly diverse in their musical selections.
However, how?
The article mentions everything from new disco and house to deep house and underground techno. It's like they've created this whole universe of sound, catering to a wide range of tastes and moods.
So it's not just one specific subgenre of electronic music. They're embracing the full spectrum.
Exactly. And they've given each show its own unique identity. You've got Vermulivers, Tardes Ocultas, which means hidden afternoons.
Hidden Afternoons. Now, that's a name that sparks curiosity. Who hosts that?
That would be Carlos Escalante, one of the founders.
Interesting. So they've really put a lot of thought into crafting these distinct listening experiences.
Absolutely. They're not just curating playlists, they're curating experiences, weaving together a tapestry of sound that reflects the diversity and depth of electronic music.
It's like they're saying, come on in, explore with us. There's a place for you here, no matter what flavor of electronic music you're into.
Exactly. And it's that dedication to showcasing a wide range of styles, to providing a platform for both established and emerging artists that makes Techno Room such a vital force in Valladolid's electronic music scene. It's not just about one sound, one vibe, one experience. It's about embracing the full spectrum of electronic music and creating a space where everyone feels welcome.
And that inclusivity, that commitment to fostering a sense of community is what truly sets Techno Room apart. They're not just curating playlists, they're curating experiences, weaving together the past, present, and future of electronic music in Valladolid.
It's inspiring, really. And it makes you think about the power of passion projects, right? How a group of dedicated individuals can come together and create something truly special, something that resonates far beyond their immediate surroundings.
And in a world increasingly dominated by algorithms and mass-produced entertainment, it's refreshing to encounter a group like Techno Room who are driven by a genuine love for the music and a desire to share that love with the world.
Speaking of sharing their love of music, the article mentions that Techno Room, despite facing those challenges we talked about earlier, remains fiercely independent. They're completely self-funded, right?
That's right. They've chosen to forego sponsorships or external funding, even though it means operating on a shoestring budget at times. But that independence is crucial to their mission. It allows them to stay true to their artistic vision and support the local scene without any strings attached.
It's a bold move, for sure. But you can tell from the article that it's a decision rooted in a deep sense of integrity and a commitment to artistic freedom. It's about more than just playing music. It's about creating a sustainable model for a thriving local music scene.
Absolutely. And it's a model that other cities and other music scenes could learn from, because ultimately it's about fostering a sense of community, supporting local artists, and creating spaces where people can come together and share their love of music.
Well said. So, we've talked about the challenges they face, their unique approach to programming, and their unwavering commitment to independence. But what about the impact? What has Techno Room's presence meant for the electronic music scene in Valladolid?
That's a great question. And the article, while not diving into detailed analysis, does hint at some interesting observations. For one, Techno Room has become a beacon for emerging artists in the region.
Like a musical lighthouse, guiding those starting on their artistic journeys.
Exactly. By providing a platform for these artists, Techno Room is helping to nurture the next generation of musical talent in Valladolid and beyond. They're creating a space where experimentation is encouraged, where boundaries can be pushed, and where new sounds can be explored.
It's like they're building a musical ecosystem, fostering growth and development at every level. That's incredible. And what about the impact on the city itself? Has Techno Room's presence changed the way people view Valladolid's cultural landscape?
While the article doesn't delve into specific sociological studies, it does suggest that Techno Room has played a role in revitalizing Valladolid's nightlife and attracting a new generation of music lovers to the city.
So they're not just spinning records. They're spinning a new narrative for Valladolid, one that embraces its rich musical heritage while also looking towards the future.
Precisely. They're proving that a city known for its historical landmarks and traditional cuisine can also be a hotbed for cutting-edge electronic music. And they're doing it all with passion, integrity, and an unwavering belief in the power of community.
It's an inspiring story and a testament to what's possible when people come together around a shared love of music.
And speaking of those behind this inspiring story, the article was written by a journalist named Sergio Parrado, who seems to have a keen interest in the underground music scene in Spain.
Interesting. Does the article mention anything else about him or his work?
Well, there's this one curious detail at the end where he's asked about any paranormal experiences he might have had.
Paranormal experiences. Now, that's a curveball. I wasn't expecting that in an article about electronic music. What's the connection?
Right. It's like, what does that have to do with anything?
Exactly. Maybe he's just got some good stories.
Maybe. It definitely adds a little intrigue, even if it seems a bit out of place.
It does make you wonder.
Yeah.
But for now, let's bring it back to the heart of our deep dive. What are some of the most striking insights we've gleaned from exploring Techno Room and their corner of the electronic music world?
I think what resonates most with me is the sheer determination and resilience of this group. They saw a need in their community, a space for electronic music to thrive despite the challenges, and they didn't just talk about it. They took action.
Absolutely. They built something from the ground up. They had passion, a shoestring budget, and they proved you don't need corporate sponsorships or mainstream appeal to create something meaningful, something impactful.
It's a testament to the power of grassroots movements, of individuals coming together with a shared love for something and willing to put in the work to make it a reality. They didn't wait for permission or recognition. They created their own platform, and in doing so, redefined what it means to be a force in the music world.
And they're redefining what it means to be a part of Valladolid's cultural landscape too, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Techno Room is challenging the perception of Valladolid as solely a place of historical significance and traditional delights. They're adding a new layer to the city's identity, showcasing its potential as a hub for contemporary music and creative expression.
It's like they're weaving together the old and the new, proving that a city can embrace its heritage while also looking towards the future, nurturing the next generation of artists and music lovers.
And that's a powerful message, especially in a world that often seems obsessed with the latest trends and fleeting moments of fame. Techno Room reminds us that true artistry is often found in the margins, in the spaces where passion and community intersect.
It makes you wonder what other hidden gems are out there, tucked away in cities and towns around the world, just waiting to be discovered.
Absolutely. And perhaps Techno Room's story can serve as inspiration, a reminder that we all have the power to shape our communities, to create spaces where passion and creativity can flourish. Whether it's through music, art, or any other form of expression, the potential for connection and positive change is limitless.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of Techno Room, I'm left with a sense of hope, a belief that even in the face of challenges, even in the margins, passion and community can create something truly extraordinary.
And who knows, maybe Techno Room's story will inspire others to seek out those hidden gems in their own communities, to support local artists and initiatives, and to keep the music playing one beat at a time.
Beautifully said. And on that note, we'll leave you to explore the sounds of Techno Room and the vibrant electronic music scene of Valladolid. Until next time, happy listening.